clear. Other things equal, that is a headwind for long-term GDP growth prospects in Japan. Japan's obviously not alone in its aging population problem. I think what doesn't get enough attention, though, which could easily offset and counterbalance that, is productivity. Japanese labour productivity is still ranked about 25th, I think, the last time I checked, globally, clearly the lowest in the G7, G8. If Japan's labour productivity tomorrow were magically to be the same as the US, GDP would be up about 40%. So the demographics are clearly a long-term headwind, but I think that policy measures and individual company measures to improve labour productivity could easily offset that. So I tried to remain more neutral than panicked about the demographics. The politics is interesting. For most of my career, the prime ministership in Japan has been a revolving door of characters, and it's not had an unduly heavy impact on the stock market. I think that really began to change with Abe just about a decade ago. I think that it is possible in the next year or so we get some speed bumps for the market on the political front. Personally, I'm a huge fan of PM Kishida, but his popularity seems to wax and wane. If he were to exit, I think that might cause some concern because he's been so pro-profit and pro-market. So yeah, I think we could get some volatility in the year ahead on the political front.
Then what needs to get out of the...
Sorry,
Sri, you want to jump in? No, go ahead, Sri.
Thanks, Mandy. Yes, just on this issue of AI, Carl, as a driver of productivity, how strong is the case for technology in Japan? You and I were talking just offline earlier about NTT. Does that provide you with any insights as to where the ecosystem is going and how to invest?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty optimistic on the AI front in Japan. I think it's not a secret that, in the last decade or two, that corporate Japan has been behind when it comes to digitization. I think that the creation of large language models and generative AI is giving Japan an opportunity to catch up, and I think that from what we see of corporates in Japan, they're really taking that opportunity to heart. I was talking to Hitachi recently, who are integrating generative AI at breakneck speed into their business, both to lower their own unit costs and to enhance the experience for their customers. So driving their own productivity and driving productivity at their customer sites. So I think that I've been really encouraged actually so far this year in terms of how quickly generative AI is being adopted in the corporate sector in Japan, not just in tech sectors, but also in industrial sectors, in order to boost profits, boost productivity.
It's really interesting that stodgy Japan Inc. has really been picked up and shaken by the scruff of the neck. And you can see that with the activism, you can see that with the corporate governance as well, which is really driving these inflows. What's next, Carl? You and I were talking about M&A. What targets do you see and what's the scope of acquisitions on that front?
Yeah, well, I think that M&A is going to be an important feature of what we see in the corporate landscape in Japan in the years to come. I say that because the corporate sector continues to be excessively fragmented in Japan. And I think that a major driver of this improvement in labour productivity that is being sought in the Japanese economy is going to come from M&A and consolidation in industries. The average size of company in Japan is actually very small. We tend to think of the big names like Hitachi or Panasonic or Sony, but actually the average corporate size is very small. So you have a lot of duplication of fixed costs throughout the corporate sector. I think that the easiest way to address that is to consolidate the industrial landscape. That is something that Prime Minister Kishida talks about. So far this year, we've had record M&A. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we get another record next year and a record the year after that. So I do think that the changes that we're seeing will definitely play out on the kind of corporate reform and M&A front.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.